Hello everyone, and welcome to Medical Astrology 101. In this free workshop, I'm going to give you a solid, structured framework for understanding and practicing medical astrology. This is also a small preview of what you'll learn inside Medical Astrology Mastery if you decide to join us. Enrollment is currently open, and there's a 30% discount available until February 11th at 11:59 p.m., but we'll come back to that later. For now, I want to jump straight into the material. This is a streamlined version of a workshop I used to teach live, where people had to register in advance and jump through all kinds of hoops just to access the information. I decided to simplify it and make it more accessible so I could share it here on YouTube, because this material is genuinely valuable, and I know many of you are curious about medical astrology even if you're just dipping your toes in. Medical astrology is incredibly useful for understanding your own health and wellness needs. It's also invaluable if you're a professional astrologer, because health questions come up all the time, questions about illness, chronic conditions, prevention, or even concerns about a partner or family member's health. This workshop will give you a foundational framework for medical astrology significations and techniques, which are very different from what you see in standard natal astrology. Medical astrology has its own language, its own rules, and its own methods. If you've tried to learn medical astrology before and felt overwhelmed, confused, or like the information was scattered, or jumped straight into advanced disease patterns without a clear structure, this is for you. My entire teaching philosophy is about structure, layering information step by step, and helping you turn astrology into something practical and usable. That's exactly what we're doing here. This training is especially helpful if you already have a basic understanding of natal charts, signs, planets, and transits. And even if you're not fully confident yet, this will help you see how medical astrology builds on that foundation. One thing I want to be very clear about: astrology is not just book learning. It's about experience, practice, making mistakes, troubleshooting charts. Medical astrology is no different. You have to engage with it actively to really understand it. Before we go further, I recommend having your birth chart handy or the chart of someone you love. I also have a free Medical Astrology 101 quick reference guide linked in the description below. Download it. A lot of the significations we're talking about today are in there, along with space to take notes. Today, you're going to learn how medical astrology actually works and how it doesn't. That distinction matters because there is a lot of misinformation floating around online. We'll talk about how planets, signs, and houses function differently in medical astrology. We'll cover how zodiac signs correspond to specific organ systems, which houses matter most for health, and how to evaluate overall wellness patterns in a chart. We'll also touch on disease signatures, how astrologers analyze existing diagnoses without diagnosing or treating illness. That part is critical. Medical astrology does not replace medical care. People come to astrologers when they've already tried everything and feel stuck. Our role is to provide insight, context, and new perspectives, not diagnoses. While we're here together, I ask that you give this workshop your full attention. Close extra tabs. Put your phone on airplane mode if you can. Research consistently shows that multitasking doesn't actually work, and even having your phone in sight reduces attention span and temporarily lowers cognitive performance. I want you present and engaged. We won't be answering personal medical questions in the chat today. That wouldn't be responsible without a full chart, and there are ethical and legal reasons for that. So why learn medical astrology? Maybe you're an astrologer who wants to expand your skill set. Maybe you're looking for insight into your own health journey. Maybe you want to support friends, family, or clients more ethically and effectively. Maybe you're already a healer and herbalist, nutritionist, energy worker, massage therapist, or even a medical professional, and you want to integrate astrology into your work. All of those reasons are valid. Keep your why in mind as we go forward. For those who don't know me, my name is Heather Eland. I'm a professional astrologer, medical astrologer, and educator. I'm the founder of the Cosmic Academy of Astrology and the creator of Medical Astrology Mastery. I have a master's degree in clinical psychology and a background in herbalism, mind-body therapies, and holistic health. I came to medical astrology early in my astrology studies because I was dealing with severe chronic illness, chronic fatigue syndrome, Lyme disease, mast cell activation syndrome, and histamine intolerance. Traditional medicine didn't have answers for me. Medical astrology helped me understand patterns in my body, my nervous system, and my life that were invisible elsewhere. It wasn't the only tool I used, but it was a powerful one. Today, I'm healthy, active, and teaching astrology full-time. That's why I care so deeply about sharing this work. One of the core principles of medical astrology is that the brain and body are not separate. The brain is an organ. It communicates with the body and receives feedback from it constantly. Emotional patterns, psychological stress, trauma, and environment all affect physical health, and medical astrology helps us see those connections clearly. Medical astrology shows how symptoms and illnesses are connected to everything else in your life: relationships, career stress, unresolved emotional patterns, even long-standing habits you might not realize are affecting your health. That's something very few modalities can do. What medical astrology does not do is diagnose or treat illness. Historically, astrology was part of medicine. But today, diagnosing and treating illness belongs to licensed medical professionals. Our role is interpretive, educational, and supportive, not clinical. So here's the disclaimer. Medical astrology is an interpretive art based on celestial symbolism. It is not a substitute for medical care. Nothing in this workshop is medical advice. Always consult a healthcare provider for diagnosis and treatment. Now we can actually begin. In medical astrology, signs correspond to specific body parts and organ systems. Most people are familiar with the head-to-toe zodiac, but it goes much deeper than that. Each sign rules multiple systems, glands, and functions, often connected through modality and element. The planets represent actions and processes within the body. The houses show environmental and life context influences. Certain houses are especially important for health, and aspects show where energy flows smoothly or where stress and vulnerability exist. One of the most important things to understand is referred influence. Signs of the same modality, cardinal, fixed, mutable, share connections across entire bodily systems. This means health patterns aren't isolated. The endocrine system, nervous system, immune system, and cardiovascular system all function as interconnected networks. That's why medical astrology works differently from natal astrology. You're not just interpreting personality, you're reading living systems. And once you understand that, everything starts to click.